I was a boy, I had a chance to talk with President Johnson about why I opposed the war in Vietnam. That talk was just for a few minutes. The impact on me lasted a lifetime. The upcoming presidential primaries offer you an opportunity to sponsor a boy, a girl, or their parent to talk with presidential candidates about the one institution of government that can reduce the size and the scope of government. That institution is a White House Council on Boys and Men. It reduces the need for the government to be a substitute husband. It does that by articulating the boy crisis and articulating its most important single cause, the absence of dad. The more involved a dad is, the less the government needs to be involved financing prisons. Prisons are basically centers where boys are involved because their dads were not involved. They're centers where boys are behind bars because their dads never knew how to teach them boundaries. The more boys are in prison, the more they soak the taxpayer's pocket. The more they are employed through the work of dads, the more they become productive men who pay taxes. And this is just the start. There's unemployment, there's underemployment, there are the costs of suicide, both financial and family costs of suicide. There's the costs of homicide, there's the cost of crime, the cost of drugs. These are all costs that come directly out of a taxpayer's pocket that expand the size of government. When we don't have strong families, we have to have a super government to prevent us from the weaknesses that occur when our families are weak. Boyhood is a huge force of testosterone. Moms and dads working together can make that force constructively, creatively used to make this country a better country, or the absence of them working together can lead this force to be destructive. We have a choice. For a boy to share the story of his struggles in school, the story of his maybe addiction to video games, addiction to drugs, or just the way he misses his dad. Once a boy has shared his story, maybe he'll also share a program that he's been in that has really changed his life. Or his sister will share the way her brother had the spark come back in his eyes after he went through that program. Once the story is shared, we'll be looking at major solutions. Solutions like the creation of a White House Council on Boys and Men. A White House Council on Boys and Men allows the whole family to be involved. We already have a White House Council on Women and Girls, but a White House Council on Women and Girls is only half the family. America is at its strongest when we have the entire family working together. Now for the timing. Once the primaries get underway, it's very difficult to have access to the candidates. It's only one brief period of opportunity this summer where there's not so many layers of bureaucracy between us and the candidates. That said, we don't just want to be sending out children, parents, and educators who are wealthy. So we're asking you to sponsor a child, a parent, or an educator who can't otherwise afford to go, so we can have a diverse representation of boys and men who are experiencing challenges and problems that a White House Council on Boys can be helpful with. So who's the we that's doing this asking? It's a multi-partisan coalition of the top authors, educators, and practitioners working with boys and men, all asking for the creation of a White House Council on Boys and Men. Our proposal and its supporters are here on this website. As of just this week, our supporters also include a strong contingent of congressmen and women from both parties who are supporting a White House Council on Boys and Men, as well, of course, as the Center for Integral Wisdom, which includes people like John Mackey of Whole Foods and the integral authors Ken Wilber and Mark Gaffney. They've created this 501c3, and that allows your contributions to be tax deductible. When you contribute $1,000 to sponsor somebody, we'll be asking you and they to keep in constant contact with each other. Your mentorship of them, how to write about the experience, how to learn from the experience, that will really be your most important gift. Whether you give $10 though or $10,000, I really want to thank you for helping give a boy or a girl an experience of a lifetime, the type of experience that was so useful for me when I was a boy. Thanks.